So then, it's done. Off season is over. And this video is going to be the story of the off season. You guys have followed the stories over the time is now, over the years, and this is going to be the story of off season. This is the story of when I went classic. This is going to go down in history. I'm glad I get to film this. I'm glad I got to film this transition. But this is the story of the classic off season. So we finished last year in April, my last men's physique competition. I very, very quickly realized that I'd been doing the men's physique pro circuit for a good chunk of time and I wasn't achieving what I wanted to achieve. But more importantly, I couldn't see myself achieving that in that class. To be honest, I quickly realized almost before I'd competed that I was gonna inevitably go classic, and I came third in a pro show, which is really, really good. I'm pretty happy with that in general. But it wasn't what I was there for. It wasn't what I wanted to achieve. So at the end of that show, I was about 103 kilos. That was like 90% lean, I would say. To get classic lean, I could probably get a couple more kilos off. And that's really where the off season started for me. I think a lot of people lose their off seasons really, really quickly because they gain 10 kilos in the first week and then they got 10 kilos of off season gone. Well, for me, I'm pretty good at that post-show phase, at least in recent years, and I ended up about 107, really, really lean, ready to start the off season. So we got to Canada, we touched down in pure muscles, and this is to begin the off season. I was about 108, 109 by this point in kilos, and we pushed it. Like, it was a little bit more of an aggressive push. The focus was always arms, chest, delts, back, because my legs just naturally grew pretty well, so I didn't need to worry about it. So the split throughout this whole year has been push, pull, rest, push, pull, legs, rest, the entire year. And in fact, the years before that as well. But fortunately, my legs just grow on that one time a week. So we pushed hard. We trained with some amazing people. I trained with Urs, I trained with Blake, I trained with some amazing athletes from all over the world who go to that gym. So it was a very, very, very productive off season. Managed to get up to about 4,600, 4,700 calories. Body weight peaked out about 122.5 kilos, which when we consider we're down from 107 post show, you know, it's a good 16 kilos over like a 5-month period, a 20-week period. So just under a kilo a week, maybe about 0.7 a week, which is actually much slower than in the past. You guys have seen my bulks in the past where I've been like 127 kilos, barely breathing behemoth. The amount of comments I used to get on my breath and my out of breathness was 10 a video. Now it's like 1. So definitely still out of breath, definitely still feeling it. So at the peak of Canada, it ended up about 18 or 1900 milligrams total of anabolics, which is more than I'd ever taken before, and about 5 IU of growth hormone, which is more than I'd ever taken before. From there, I went into a cruise. That was at 200, 200, so 200 masteron, 200 testosterone, and I actually just kept the growth hormone at 5 IU, and this is where my growth hormone journey began. I kept it there for about 6 weeks. We kept it a little bit shorter, the break off, because we knew that the second blast, the second push, which I've just had now, was going to be shorter. And this is what is important, and this is what I tell all my clients: you've got to plan your year out properly. You've got to make sure that you've got enough time on, enough time off, enough time back on, and then enough time off, and then enough time to prep. So that was the goal. So we head to Dubai about November, after a couple of weeks in the UK being on TRT. And then it started. From December, I was about 117. Naturally, from that 122.5, I'd came down a kilo or so just from taking down the androgens. But we'd also gone on a mini cut at that point. 3 weeks was all I needed, where I cut from 4,500 down to about 3,200 calories a day. And I just started doing my cardio like 4 times a week. So nothing drastic, nothing crazy. I actually didn't lose weight that quickly. I went from 122 to 117 over about 5 or 6 weeks. So that was a kilo a week, which isn't crazy fast for the deficit that I was in. And then from December, it was time to push up again. And I was really, really excited because I was 117 at the beginning of a push. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna be all-time heaviest weight. My all-time heaviest weight being about 100, 124 maybe at a push. I've probably been 125, but maybe for like one morning when I hadn't gone to the toilet or something like that. So we pushed. This was much more conservative. So where we had done 16 kilos in 20 weeks last time, this is actually going to do half. We're actually going to do about 8 or 9 kilos in about 15 weeks, right? So we started to push up again from December, January, February, March, and then as of the beginning of April, we called it. And in that time, I managed to go from 117 in December up to 125.2 or 3 in the morning, pretty consistently all the time at the beginning of April, which was very, very, very satisfying because I thought we were a little bit behind plan, and no, John kept me to it, half a kilo a week, half a kilo a week, half a kilo a week. And we did that every single week. Don't get me wrong, some weeks we went up a kilo, some weeks we didn't go up at all, but it averaged about half a kilo a week. And then here we are, the most successful off seasons that I've ever had. I've had 2 full blasts. I am the heaviest, the biggest, the strongest I've ever been. I am currently 3 weeks into my TRT phase. I'm on 225 milligrams of testosterone, 225 milligrams of masteron, and I'm still on 6 IUs of growth hormone. 5 IUs of growth hormone. I'm pretty lean. I'm pretty lean. I'll show you some pictures, and you can see every single quad head. You can see my adductors. You can see the veins through my legs. You can see the leanness through my arms. You can see that I'm really not too fat relative to where I've been in the off season before. So I am very excited to delve into prep, and we're 2 weeks away now. 2 weeks away to start prep, so I cannot wait to take you upon that journey. But that is in my opinion, a really, really, really good off season that 99.9% of people should always take. One big push up, you don't have to use steroids there or anything like that, even with your natural. One big push up, one mini cut, another big push up, ideally at a minimum, right? Unless you're assisted and you're absolutely hammering the gear up for one push up, you're just really not going to make huge leaps and bounds into your physique. And those of you guys remember what I looked like last time, we'll show some clips right now. I can bring it, when I get lean, my body comes alive, the fullness comes alive, I stay real full sometimes, I get gnarly shredded. And with 2 blasts under my belt, being 124 kilos right now, I'm very, very confident that this is going to be the best version of myself yet. So I hope you guys can take a little bit from that journey. Hope you guys have enjoyed the journey. I'm very, very excited for the time is now. Season 4, which is just insane. And this is the classic one, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. That is the summary of the off season. That's what we did. That's everything we did do. And we'll see you in the next video.